Tony Benn, after he stopped being in Parliament to spend more time on politics, we have to do more thinking for ourselves. But Tony Benn is a legend. The president of the Stop the War Coalition, there at the foundation of it, and somebody who has spent his lifetime opposing British imperialism and colonialism. And indeed, I've read some of the stuff that he raised in the 1950s about Britain's appalling colonial record in Kenya, where the atrocities were committed against the Mau Mau people, and his then work on the founding of Liberation, which I now chair. Tony has got a fantastic record of principled internationalism, principled campaigning for peace. Please give a real Trafalgar Square welcome to Tony Benn.
Comrades, this is a very remarkable occasion because it is an occasion when we are here to congratulate ourselves on having brought about a very significant decision in Parliament last week not to go to war with Syria. And I have been on this platform over many years, from the time of Suez onwards, over 50 years, and usually we have found that we have lost the battle. But what we must remember is that all the campaigns we've been engaged in have culminated in the decision taken by Parliament last week. Never forget that the British Labour movement has always been in favour of peace. And we do that because there are so many movements against war. We've had the campaign for nuclear disarmament with its fantastic record, the Stop the War Coalition and many others, and now we have seen the climax of that. Parliament decided not to launch another war. And we ought to remember that in our campaigns for peace we have support from all over the world. One of the reasons why the Al-Qaeda movement has grown is because they have seen intervention of many kinds in Afghanistan and Iraq, in Tripoli and so on, and they see this as a campaign by the West to recover its control of the world, and they don't want it and we don't want it, and we are with them in working for peace. Now, just remember this about war. War is not only about weapons of mass destruction. Every British soldier I see with a rifle sent to fight abroad, I think of the consequences. He is there to kill the Taliban, but also to do something else. He makes the wife of the Taliban he kills into a widow. He makes children in Afghanistan and everywhere else into orphans. And we are against that. We are in favour of the peaceful settlement of international disputes, and we are in favour of justice in the world, and that means justice for everybody, not just for friends of the United States and Britain. Now, just remember this. The cost of all the wars that we fight are paid for in this country by the cuts that are made in public expenditure. Everyone who finds their benefit has been cut will find that the money saved goes to war, and we don't want it. We won't have it. We demand policy is abandoned and that we move towards a peaceful settlement of international disputes. I came home in a troop ship in the summer of 1945 as an RAF pilot, and I remember hearing the words of the Charter of the United Nations, and they're written in my mind. This is what it said. It said, "We, the peoples of the United Nations, determined to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war, which twice in our lifetime has caused untold suffering to mankind." Those words represent what we stand for, what we believe in, what we are about, and in the case of Parliament last week, an argument we have won. And we must now go on campaigning, build more support, but above all persuade people the most important lesson of all in politics, that if you want a result you have to campaign for it. Nothing happens by accident. It's when people get on the streets and make their views clear that governments listen, because in a democracy we have the final right to decide who we want to govern us and what policies we want them to follow. So this is a very big demonstration called at very short notice, but it means that our work is now beginning all over again to carry the message of peace that we believe in to more and more people, and to be sure that governments have to listen to us, because in the end, in a democracy, we have the right to decide what is done. So thank you for all you have done. Thank you for giving everyone confidence that we can succeed. And let us be absolutely sure that we do not lose the gain we made in Parliament last week, and that voice for peace becomes the voice of Britain and the voice of the British people. And if we do that, we shall find echoes from all over the world in our support. Good luck. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much indeed, Tony, for your work today and over the past decades.